Firefighting in Canada this week is brought to you by VFIS of Canada, a division of CVIS Incorporated, Canada's largest insurer of firefighters. In this edition, the inaugural Canadian Wildfire Conference, co-organized by Firefighting in Canada, took place in Kelowna, BC. Then, the federal government is considering potential changes to the Canadian Aviation Regulations that could benefit firefighters. The Canadian Wildfire Conference, co-organized by Firefighting in Canada, united ground and air personnel for a two-day event in Kelowna on October 25th and 26th. Sector-leading suppliers showcasing new technologies exhibited alongside an educational program. The conference agenda included a range of presentations from industry leaders, providing attendees with critical information on the challenges and trends facing wildfire suppression. The day began with an air and ground interoperability panel that discussed labor issues, cross-training, and the prospect of developing a national wildfire force. That panel was followed by a session called Deploying Resources for Structure Protection. Speakers discussed a range of advances and strategies being deployed and looked at massive water systems and tactics to deal with ever more aggressive wildfires. A second panel on innovation and advanced tactics for wildfire suppression took place in the afternoon. That conversation touched on topics like fighting fires from the air at night and pinpoint drops via GPS positioning. The day wrapped up with a technical session on using Ignis for aerial ignition. Drone integration into wildfire suppression was a common theme throughout the day. An appreciation dinner held the night before welcomed about 150 people involved in ground and air wildfire suppression. The dinner also served as a fundraiser for Sick Not Weak, an organization dedicated to providing mental health awareness. Broadcasting personality Michael Landsberg, who is the founder of Sick Not Weak, presented the evening's keynote speech. The Canadian Wildfire Conference is an expanded program of the former Aerial Firefighting Conference and highlights a partnership between Wings, Helicopters, Firefighting in Canada, and Canadian Firefighter media brands. You can read more about the Wildfire Conference at firefightingincanada.com. A new motion that asks the federal government to bring Canadian Aviation Regulations up to international standards for airport rescue and firefighting at major airports is being considered in the House of Commons. Adopting the motion would give airport firefighters the mandate and resources necessary to reach the site of a fire or mishap anywhere on an operational runway in 3 minutes or less. Right now, they are only required to reach the midpoint of the furthest runway in 3 minutes, and the regulations do not specify rescue as part of the role. Airport firefighters can hose down a path outside the wreckage and hope passengers can rescue themselves, or receive help from flight crews on the aircraft in an emergency. If rescue is required, municipal firefighters are called in and could take 10 minutes or more to get to the incident. The International Association of Firefighters said in a press release that amount of time is well beyond when conditions inside a downed aircraft would be lethal. An assessment from the IAFF on airport firefighting regulations found regulatory emergency response shortfalls that jeopardize public safety. The motion asks the government to amend the regulations to meet International Civil Aviation Organization standards, which specify rescue as a required function of airport firefighters at major airports. Thanks again to VFIS of Canada, a division of CVIS Incorporated, Canada's largest insurer of firefighters. Stay tuned for our next episode on Friday, November 24th.